Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Malia. Welcome to another video, you guys. Today we're talking about solo traveling in general. I love traveling. If you can't tell by my YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, literally, if you've had a conversation with me, I've brought up Spain, I brought up traveling. We all know. We're sick of me, but I'm gonna keep sharing stuff. In the last 4 years, from 2020 to now, I've traveled to 10 new countries, 20 new cities, and I've experienced so much, and I'm here to share a few tips for you guys, but I also want to share just my experience on like how I started traveling and blah blah blah. This is your sign to take that leap, buy that ticket, and have the experience of your life. Okay, remember that your money will always return, but experiences do not. Okay, always keep that in mind. I've gone on so many trips, like I don't know what it is, but I have no problem spending my money on traveling because the experiences are always worth it, and I get so much out of it that in my mind it's kind of priceless. It's not, it's expensive, but like it doesn't have to be, okay? And as much as I love traveling with my family or my friends, solo travel will always hold a special place in my heart, and I think that more people should definitely give it a shot. It might sound scary. You may think, oh, I'm too old for this, or it's too late, I'm too far into my career, I don't want to leave. But let me tell you, that is not the case. I have met so many different types of people traveling. Even just when I was in Colombia at my Spanish school, I was one of the youngest people there, and there were people in their 60s still traveling, still solo traveling, trying new things out. And you never know who you're gonna meet, you never know how it's gonna change you. So just give it a shot, because there's someone out there that's probably exactly like you, but they decided to take that leap and buy that ticket, and they're probably having the time of their lives. For today's video, you guys, I will be talking about solo travel, and just like in general, I'm gonna give a couple tips and advice at the end that has helped me. But if you want more of a specific video on solo traveling, just let me know. I'm gonna be very general, so just leave any questions that you have in below, or if you wanna hear more about my experiences, that is also fine. I am always willing to share because I love talking about it. Also, my glasses are glaring with the window right now, but we're gonna have to deal with it because I can't see anything, and I got all my notes. So you're gonna have to deal with it, okay? Before I get more into the topic of today's video, I did want to talk about how I started traveling and just some more background information for you guys. So first off, when I was a kid, my mom would always take my brother and I all around the United States. If it was Texas, Florida, Michigan, Indiana, but we've been to so many places around the US. We would take road trips. We'd go to Oklahoma to visit my grandma a lot, and that kind of started off my little traveling experience. Those trips when I was a kid were always so fun to me, but I still never experienced going outside of North America until I was about 21 years old. So my junior year of college, I decided to study abroad in Barcelona, Spain. I love Spain, you guys. Love Barcelona, love Spain. Great country, like one of the best. I'm so sorry, it is. I'm very biased, but it is. And when I studied abroad in Barcelona, that changed everything for me. Literally everything. My mindset, my goals in life. If you've been here since the beginning to my channel, or just know information about me of like different trips I've gone on, you'll be heard on how my study abroad experience ended very shortly because of a life-threatening disease around the world. Ever heard of her? She's called COVID. Yes, so COVID is the main reason on why my study abroad experience got cut short, and I was very sad. I was heartbroken, but I knew that my journey was not gonna stop with traveling. So after I graduated college, I ended up securing myself a job in Madrid, Spain as an English teaching assistant, or an AUX. There's so many different titles for it, but I ended up getting a teaching job in Spain, and so that was how I was able to go back to Spain, and I was so excited, you guys. Like when I went back to university for my last year of school, I told everyone I was moving to Spain. Did I know I was going to? No, but I was manifesting it, and I knew it was gonna happen, and it did. And what a time. What a time. If you guys would like to know any more information on my experience of living in Madrid, because I lived in Madrid, Spain for 2 years. So if you want to know about my living experience, how I found my job, just basically all the information about my 2 years, I have 2 different videos on my channel that will be linked in the description below. So definitely check those out. I spent a full 2 years in Madrid, Spain, and I am still so grateful that I was even able to have that opportunity. Like, I'm still in awe that I did that, and sometimes it feels like a dream to me. Man, I wish that dream never ended, but that was my choice. And then living in Europe made it so easy to travel because Europe is a pretty small continent and all the countries are very small. Whenever I would talk to any European about the United States, I don't think they realize how big it is. I know not everyone is like that, but a lot of people would ask me, could I see New York and California in one day? Do you think I can make a road trip? A road trip? It takes over a day just to drive from New York to California. Okay, so I don't think people ever realize how big the United States is, and comparing that to Europe, in my mind, or at least in my opinion, I think Europe is very small, so it's so much easier to travel within the different countries. You could travel by bus, train, and airplane. I did all three throughout Europe. Like, I literally took a 16-hour bus from Madrid to Paris. Don't recommend, but check out that video also on my channel. At least in my opinion, I think traveling around Europe is also so much more affordable than what it is in the United States. So I was able to travel a lot while I was living in Spain. And I say that's when my travel journey like really started to take off, because I was traveling to a new city or a new country in Europe about every single month, maybe every other month. I was spending every single penny that I had to my name on traveling, and it was definitely worth it. I was exploring so many different countries, from Italy, France, Hungary, Portugal, the Netherlands. Like, I would be going everywhere and spending literally all of my money on all this traveling. I just learned so much every single time I traveled, and I just started to love everything about traveling, from learning about the different cultures or languages, the different food that they have there, all the history, and just so much more. Even though I loved my life in Madrid and it was amazing, I would literally do it again in a heartbeat. I also knew that my time was not gonna end in Madrid or in Spain, and I knew I had to keep traveling. So I needed to say goodbye to Madrid. And you guys, I literally think about Madrid probably almost every single day still, and it was still so amazing. But I'm also so happy that I decided to leave, because it's giving me so many other opportunities to travel to so many other places. Even thinking of the big adventures I've been on, like this past year in February, I decided to go to Medellin, Colombia, all by myself for Spanish school. Like, that would have never happened if I never left Madrid. So I always have to keep that in mind. There's so many other things out there and experiences that I need to have, and I just knew it wouldn't really be possible to stay in Spain and continue my life there, even though it was so great. So now that we got a little background on my travel experience and all things like that, now I want to get into why I love solo traveling. I've traveled with my mom, my hometown friends, with my college friends, with my friends that I met in Spain, and all were great trips. I don't think I've ever had a trip where I'm miserable and I'm like, get me out of here, I hate these people, I need to leave, let me book it. I've never had that experience. I don't want that experience ever. But when I started solo traveling, I was like, this is a luxury to be alone. Like, this is so nice. You get to do what you want to do for your trip. When you're planning a trip with your friends, you obviously want to make the trip very inclusive, so everyone's getting to do stuff that they enjoy, which can be a tricky spot for some people. I feel like my friends and I are similar enough that we like to do the same stuff, but I've heard for some horror story group trips, you know, some people want to sleep in, some people want to wake up early and start their day, some people really like museums, some people just want to go eat food. And so sometimes it's really hard to balance all of those activities so everyone can have a good time. Once I went on my first solo trip, I was like, wait, I can take a nap if I want to. I don't have to feel guilty on holding people up. I can go to this one art museum that I really wanted to go to, even though some of my friends would not like going to art museums. I could go to the beach and just sit there. I could drink. I could just enjoy my time. I wouldn't feel rushed. I got to do exactly what I wanted. And I was like, this, like I said before, this is a luxury. This is so nice. And I started getting really used to that, and I started enjoying it a lot more than going on trips with my friends, because sometimes when I go on trips with my friends, it kind of just felt like a chore at times. It's like I was having a fun time, but there's always someone that's not having a fun time. There's always someone that will be the problem if you go on a trip with your friends. It always happens. If I don't have to deal with any problems or issues, I will just go along with what the group wants to do, because it's not that big of a deal to me. It's like, girl, you're in Paris, go have fun. You know what I mean? Happy Olympics, by the way. while you're traveling alone and you finally get to do whatever you want to do, you make your own itinerary based on what you want, you also kind of get to discover and explore the type of traveler that you are. Because I didn't really know anything about this until later on, when I was going on a lot more trips by myself, or even just going on some solo trips and then going on trips with my friends. I'd be like, you know, I'm really not interested in doing this. I'm not really interested in going to the Heineken beer museum thing and trying a bunch of beers. My friends love beer. I like beer. Beer is tolerable, right? It's like I could go, but it's like I don't really want to do that, you know? So you kind of get to find out what type of traveler that you are. You know, you have like the active people, relaxation, the foodie, the history buff. You just kind of get to find how you like to enjoy your vacations and your travel. And also, one of the best parts of solo traveling is that you can go at your own pace. I can wake up early, right? I can start my day early. I can start doing things as soon as it hits 7 in the morning. I don't care. I will see the sunrise if I need to. But some people like to move a little bit slower sometimes, which I can also do. I am fine with moving slow. But sometimes people move a little too slow. If you're going to be wasting my time as you sit in the hotel, Airbnb, wherever you're staying, if you're just going to sit there until 2 p.m. and waste half the day, don't travel with me. Please don't travel with me. Don't waste my time. I don't mind waking up at 11 o'clock, having a slow start to the morning, getting some food, and then maybe start venturing out by like, what, 12 or 1 o'clock? That's fine. But if you're waking up at 2 and you're still not getting out of bed and you're just on your phone, I just threw up. If you hear me talking about bad experiences on traveling with friends, I'm not even talking about my own. I am talking about my friends' experiences with traveling with their other friends, because I've heard of a lot of stuff. Being able to go at your own pace and not having to worry about fitting everything in one day is just very relaxing to me. Like I said before, I could kind of start my mornings earlier, but I'm not too pressed to like get everything that's on my itinerary done. It really doesn't bother me because it just gives me an excuse to go back to that city or back to that country. And for me, I have no problem with that. But for some other people, they are go, go, go. You don't have a time to stop. You don't have a time to rest. I'm not really the biggest person on that type of travel. So for me, it's like I don't mind like starting my day early, getting a bunch of things done, but then also going back to my hotel, my hostel, my Airbnb, and just relaxing for like an hour or two, taking a nap, getting some food, sitting down, enjoying my time outside. I don't need to be go, go, go every single moment while I'm traveling, okay? Being able to go at my own pace is just so nice. It was literally like shocking to me when I was first traveling by myself, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to tell people or ask them like, you guys, like my feet hurt, like I need to go sit down for a little bit, or you guys, like I'm really tired, like I would like to go lay down. It's like I could just go. I didn't have to feel guilty about wasting other people's time. And also, if you're a people pleaser, I recommend solo traveling because the only person you have to please then is yourself. And it's a really nice moment to have. My last thing on why I love solo traveling is that it always makes me grow as a person. I feel like my character development is wild every time I travel by myself. It's like not only are you all alone in a whole new country by yourself, what if you don't know the language? What if you don't know how to communicate with people? And those are all the things that you'll experience while you travel alone. I always suggest to know a little bit of the basic language or some words, just so people can like help you out if you need it. I mean, if you have your phone with you, Google Translate, you know, there's so many different things that we can use with technology these days that you really shouldn't run into that problem. But it's like, that's just one of like the hardships that people think about traveling by themselves, is like, what if I'm stuck? Where do I go? Like, are people gonna help me? What if I can't speak the same language? You just kind of have to experience it. You have to just go through it and you'll learn. I just have a lot of different experiences that I'll go through when I'm traveling by myself, and a lot of them are learning moments. I shared one in one of my Colombia videos. I was in a Colombian grocery store and I didn't know I had to get my receipt like stamped out so they could like check my bag and everything, and I didn't know that, so I just kept walking away, blah blah blah. The man is literally chasing me out of this grocery store. I'm so scared, my heart is pounding, and then he was like, tu bolsita, and I was like, oh my gosh, he needs to look at my bag. and I felt like an idiot. I felt so dumb. Mind you, the area that I ended up in was like a food court mall area. This was like a huge grocery store, you guys. Like the grocery stores in Colombia are insane. Everyone was just staring at me. Embarrassing, very embarrassing. But you know, that's an experience I had to learn through. And whenever I had to go to the grocery store, I knew to show my receipt, get it stamped out, and I was all good to go. And a lot of the times when you're traveling by yourself, you're gonna have those embarrassing moments and those embarrassing, well, now stories to tell. Just a lot of things that you'll just start to learn as you solo travel. And not only will you learn how to like be in that one country, but I feel like I also just grow as a person and I become a lot more confident and independent. I don't think I really noticed all this like character development and growth on my side, but when I would go on trips with my mom, she's like, you just know how to like just move around a new country. And I was like, you know what? That's so true. Like, thank you. But it's like, it takes practice, it takes time. You're not gonna be perfect at it. Even at the new cities or countries that I visit, I'm still learning. But it's like after a whole trip, it's like you feel so proud of yourself and it's a really good feeling to have. But yeah, just some other things that happened to me while I was traveling alone. My train broke down. That was a mess. One time I was in Paris and my flight got canceled. That was a mess. But then not only did my flight get canceled, the next day I was heading to the wrong airport, so I had to figure out that stuff. And being all alone, like, also the amount of mental breakdowns I've had on these trips by myself is crazy. The only person that would really know about them is my mom. God bless this woman, getting a million calls from me. Mom, I'm stuck in Paris. Mom, my train broke down. Mom, my flight's canceled. It's like one thing after another. It's a journey, but like I said, it is always worth it as well. It always gives some good stories to share. Now I want to tell you about all the places that I've gone by myself. I just wrote this down, my little list that I have. So I've been to Valencia, Spain, Bologna and Florence, Italy, Venice and Milan, Italy, French Riviera, so I've been to like Nice and Monaco, Porto, Portugal, and then my last solo trip that I did was 1 month in Medellin, Colombia. I know I need to get some other continents on there, but we are working on that. But those are all of the places that I've been for my solo travel. That is my whole solo travel experience. A couple tips for you guys. And I also just want to make one little note. My mom always says this, but you can be alone without being lonely. So if you're going on a solo trip, just keep that in mind. Even if you do feel like you're alone, there's still tons of people around you, even if just the locals. Locals are also like some of the nicest people that I'll meet on a trip because they're so excited to like share their culture and their food and get like tell you so much about like where they're from and all of that stuff. Like I've had locals help me find restaurants, what to order because I don't understand the menu, on how to find a bank. I was looking for a dang bank in Nice, France for like, in my mind, an hour. It probably wasn't an hour because I exaggerate, but I felt like I was looking for this bank for like an hour and I was going into random offices being like, I don't know where to find a bank, and people were helping me. I wish I could take you, but I'm working, but I'm gonna give you directions. And like, even if there was a language barrier, they would still find a way to help. Just remember that you are never truly alone. There's always people out there that got you, but even if you are by yourself, that does not mean that you will be lonely. Okay, that is my whole experience on traveling, solo traveling, how I got into it, some tips for you guys and advice. I can talk about this all day. Like, I wish this was my job because I could talk about this forever, and I can't wait to go on even more solo trips and see what else I learn about traveling and about myself and just so many different things. And I can't wait to meet so many more people and try new food, and like, I'm not even there yet and I'm already excited about it. And there's just so much that the world has to offer, and every time I go on a trip, it's just, it like feels a little peace inside of me. I don't know. That is all that I have for you guys for today's video. If you have any questions or comments or want to know anything else, let me know in the comments down below. I can always do more videos on this type of information and all of this stuff. Also check out all of my links that I'll have below. I'll have my Madrid videos listed, my Colombia playlist, so many different things for you guys, so many different resources that you guys can use. I am working on a project that should be out, girl, I don't even know. I don't know when this project's gonna be done, but when I finish this one travel project, it will have even more resources and advice and tips and so much more for you guys to look out for. But that is all I have for you guys for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember to like and subscribe, because too many people be watching my videos and not subscribing. Okay, so please subscribe. It helps me. I love talking about this stuff, and I would like to make this a job in the future, the near future, if I can. Subscribing to me would really help me out with that. And I'm always here to give the free tips, advice, resources. Like, I will always try to help people if I can, because I know I love when other people do that for me, or just for people on the internet just to use and to see. It's really comforting to have those people, and I just want to be that for everyone, basically. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.